Let's get into game number 1, and we have 18 versus Laion. And we have a warrior, and we have a mage. So pretty much a mirror of the first game we had for the stream. Tempo warrior going up against tempo mage. Although this could still be a control warrior, there is still a chance. We'll have to see some more cards from Laion. However, we do see GosuCup coming from 18. And so this is just a Yogg tempo mage. That's seems to be quite popular at the moment, especially within the GosuCup. I haven't seen tempo mage too much in the last couple of weeks. Maybe freeze mage being the more preferred deck by competitive players, but it's starting to make its comeback in this event. So I'll have to see how it performs this time, but because for Pyro it didn't really do that well. Couldn't keep up with the pace of the tempo warrior. So a full mulligan coming from Laion there, and it looks like control warrior, so it's not tempo warrior. The tempo mage won't have the issue of keeping the tempo up against another tempo deck. This time the mage has a little bit more time and flexibility, and picking up that water elemental off the top will be very handy going up against this warrior in the future. But now he just needs to consider, does he want to invest a minion this early? And the one thing that Pyro's opponent Tradeblade did before was just drop that Fiery War Axe and lock out his plays for about 2 to 3 turns. So we'll have to see what he does. Oh, and another water elemental. So Sorcerer's Apprentice could come down here, could be saved as well. I don't think there's a sense of urgency to play it. If you're going to play around Fiery War Axe, you just hold on to it. If you don't think he has it, or you're happy for it to get chopped up by an axe, then by all means just play the card. But next turn he gets coin water elemental into water elemental, and that will be very powerful against a very weapon focused class. And Arcane Intellect picked up off the top. It does curve out on 3, but getting that water elemental down as soon as possible will be on the agenda for 18. So this does open up a battle rage. I could slam first, get the draw. Could just go for execute instead. It's not mana efficient. If you want to go for a good battle rage, you need to run your armor smith into the water elemental and then finish it off with the weapon. But Laion's going to play a little bit more patiently, and water elemental number 2 is probably going to come down. So this is the last water elemental he has to deal with. That would... Oh, this is... Well, this is looking control, but it is running Malkarok. And not very common in the control warriors, so... A little bit of flavour from Laion. Second execute used on that water elemental to keep his position on board. If this is control warrior, we should expect some shield slams at least. But this could be tempo with Sylvanas, actually. He's got a battle rage. So battle rage does make a huge suggestion towards tempo, and Malkarok kind of just confirms it. But 18, nothing to play on board really that is going to stick around. If he goes for the Conjurer, it will find him another card, but the Fiery War Axe is going to deal with that with no problem at all. So Frostbolt is going to be the first card played. Going to go for the missiles, trying to clear out that Ravaging Ghoul. Oh, never lucky. Has to go for the Arcane Blast as well. So a lot of spells used there to hand to the board, but with no Flame Waker to back it up. So now you got the choice of going for Sylvanas, just getting her down and her being a bit of a nuisance. Could push for damage with the Crocon and the armor up. Put yourself a bit more safer out of the range of this tempo mage. I think Sylvanas was fine, but Crocon for the push of extra damage, not bad at all. It's just very vulnerable to stuff like Frostbolts, Arcane Missiles. Sylvanas is a little stickier, but Fireballs do dispatch them very easily, so there's a pros and cons for each play. Depends what you're trying to play around. So that Arcane Intellect is now making this Arcane Missiles a gamble. All hits have to hit the Crocon. or it just won't feel worth it. And he decides to hold on for it now because he knows that there's no guarantee that Crocon will be cleared. But now, Malcroc can come down, recharge that weapon slot. Let's see what he gets. Is that a Gladiator Longbow? No, Arcanite Reaper. Arcanite Reaper is a fantastic pickup. It's one of the better weapons you can get from Malcroc. One of the kind of mid to top tier weapons from that category. So now, roll the Arcane Missiles and see where they go. The Arcane Blast has been powered up, so it now does 4 damage from the Cult Sorcerer, increasing its spell power. And now the Missiles comes down to try and pick off both of these. Oh, that didn't quite work out. Just a ping on to the Crocon. I'm not sure why there was a ping on the Crocon there. Because it does die to the Cult Sorcerer, and now he gets a Battle Rage. You can actually Battle Rage twice. You can Battle Rage again and then go Throbbing. Just gonna go for Sylvanas. Push for damage. That's cool too. Clear it with the Arcanite Reaper. Clearing this with the Arcanite Reaper is investing in the Crocon Elite and expecting it to do at least 4 damage next turn and not die, and maybe stick around a little bit longer. But Conjurer comes down looking for an answer. Arcane Blast gets picked up to deal with that Crocon. Not bad at all. So clearing that Cult Sorcerer did help. Goes for the ping on Sylvanas. Maybe lining up for a Flame Strike in the future. But Grom plus the Blood to Ichor with the weapon will be able to clear out 18's health total, and he will take the first game. Temple Warrior once again remaining dominant. So a pretty quick first game there from the guys. Temple Warrior once again doing what it does best. So apologize for a moment, just gonna speak to one of the players. So Temple Mage falls to Temple Warrior. It just doesn't seem to match up that well against it, even with the Water Elementals, which traditionally have done very well against Warrior in the past. Don't have the same impact they once had. Deathbite's gone now, so Fiery War Axe being the main weapon that's played, and it's usually played early, so it gets used up, and then War Element comes down, and Malcroc's generally the only thing that generates you another weapon. So probably a little bit better against Control Warrior, can hit that Gore Howl, but didn't quite work out in that game. But game number 2, Laion takes the lead with Temple Warrior and starts off with his mid-range Hunter, a deck that has once again picked up in popularity thanks to not only the America preliminaries but also ladder performances from very strong players. Mr. Yagut getting top 10 with his variation of mid-range Hunter. Tice also doing very well, and quite recently Nick Chipper having a 65% win rate, going from rank 1111 to like rank 100. Like and 12 or something like that, with mid-range Hunter. So a very powerful deck coming back into the metagame. But we have the good old Shaman list coming from 18, packing that Harrison Jones as well. So this is suggesting to me that this is mid-range Shaman, packing that one Bloodlust to do that very explosive finish, giving it a very good win condition. Doomsayer from the Hunter. So this is looking like Mr. Yagut's list. He was running Doomsayers in his build, whereas Nick Chipper's version runs Knife Jugglers instead. So now he's wondering, do you chuck the Doomsayer down? I think you do in this situation. Doomsayer is a great answer. The best thing that can happen here for 18 is he picks up a Lightning Bolt, and he can Lightning Bolt it and clear it up. Now the board has lost for the Shaman, and the one thing that Doomsayer is just so good at is passing the initiative back to you. They can't clear that Doomsayer. You get to play the first minion that comes down, and then you have the offensive initiative. You can attack first generally. So now 18 has to consider, do you go for the 5-5 taunt, or do you go for the Feral Wolves to spread the power across the board and create more protection? If you go for the Feral Wolves now, you can still, well, actually, I don't think you can drop the thing from below next turn, but you can drop the Mana Tide. So coin Kodo is probably going to be the play here, and then just clear up the last one with that frog. And then next turn, you always have the option of Eaglehorn Bow to deal with another set of minions. And, of course, we have the Houndmaster to buff up the Stampeding Kodo. I just had a little of a technical malfunction there. The TV almost fell on me. It's not the most stable of TVs, unfortunately. The stand is not working as intended. And I completely just missed what happened there, but Feral Spirits came down and the Eaglehorn Bow cleared up with the Kodo. So yeah, everything's kind of lining up perfectly for this mid-range hunter at the moment. And now we just have the Chillwind Yeti, the Shaman variation, very tentacly version, come down just as get a body on board. Carrion Grub into kill command. So this is what mid-range hunter does best. Controls the board once it gets initiative, using kill commands, using that weapon. He also has Houndmaster coming up as well, Unleash the Hounds if things get a little too hairy. So an awesome response from 18 here with the Harrison Jones. He's trying to slow down Laion as much as he can. So second kill command is available, but kill command is also very good at pushing damage, and you do want to push that damage with it. You don't want to use it for board too much. You can Houndmaster the Carrion here, trade into the Harrison, clear up the totem, chalk out. Oh, you can just drop out the bow as well and push for some extra damage. I don't mind that at all. Could go for a more aggressive stance here. You can push 7, you push 10 damage this turn. But it looks like Laion is going to still play for board, still play it safe. The Lightning Storm will be a good response to this board, especially if he rolls the Spell Power Totem and finds that extra spell damage to guarantee a clear. So there's no guarantee on the Kodo or the Houndmaster at this point. He may feel like he needs to do it. Yep, he's gonna roll the dice. Let's see what lives. Oh, wow. That was unfortunate. Both of the primary targets of that Lightning Storm didn't get hit by the free damage. So now 18 needs to decide, do you create a defensive minion with the thing from below, or do you be greedy and go for that card draw to try and maybe find another Lightning Storm to dispatch of this board?
There is little time.
But the clock is ticking. I think I like just going for the thing from below here. The hunter is in a situation where he can now start pushing tremendous amounts of damage with stuff like kill command, with stuff like quick shot, and you just can't afford to allow a hunter to get that extra damage. So you basically, at this point, if you chuck down Mana Tide Totem, you say to your opponent, you can have 10 damage to my face from what's just on board, not including everything that's in hand. So we got 10 damage from board, then we have an extra 5 from kill command, taking us to 15, 18 with quick shot, and then hero power will take that up to 20. So 3, 2, just a little bit off, unfortunately. Can't squeeze in the Unleash the Hounds, but if you're going to push for damage, this is a good opportunity. I would personally just ignore what's happening on board. Could go for Unleash the Hounds and just clear out the 1 attack totem. Oh, second Houndmaster pulled out. That is really powerful now. So you can play Houndmaster, buff up that Stampeding Kodo, and just go face and throw in the hero power. And you just have so much burst damage in hand for the next turn. It's going to be almost unstoppable. Unless like we see Healing Wave come off the top for 18 here. So Lightning Storm is available. Gonna roll for that Spell Tower totem once again. Does not find it. So now it once again, the Lightning Storm comes down. Let's see if 18 can finish off. Oh, that was not bad at all. The one attack totem will be able to deal with it. But as we know, that is not going to be enough. And Laion is going to take game number 2 with a quick shot kill command into that hero power. And close things out. Gonna duel in style, unleash those Doge. And bam. Kill command, hero power, the classic. So very quick game number 2 from Laion there, and things are looking pretty bleak for 18 at the moment. We had kind of a very similar situation in our previous game, and Pyro did find one win, but he couldn't get the momentum he needed to finish off his opponent and win that series. And this is single elimination, guys. So if you lose a series, you are out of the tournament, and you're gonna have to start from scratch again on Wednesday or Friday. A lot of variety of GosuCups going on right now. So yeah, mid-range hunter did the job there. Something a deck I'm very familiar with. I've played so much mid-range hunter in my time. It was a deck that I leaned to in my lineups when I was a competitive player, especially in last year of Stanley. Before Conquest was invented, I used to just love 3-0ing with Hunter back in the day. So it's a deck that I have a lot of comfort with, and I feel I have a lot of knowledge about. And I'm glad it's back in the metagame, personally. I mean, it makes my ladder life a lot more easier. I can just run mid-range hunter on ladder and climb those ranks. So we don't know what deck they're going to go for. We've seen the Shaman so far from 18. We've seen a Tempo Mage. So very similar lineup already to Pyro. Pyro is running a Miracle Rogue as well. So if 18 goes for Miracle Rogue, he had the exact same lineup pretty much. But we'll see if he reveals that final deck in this match to try and come back in the series. Or maybe he'll just stick to something that is happening. One sec. I think there's been a slight problem with the players. They've dropped out of the challenge at the moment. They're getting right back into it. This has just been a problem they were having. Alright, next game, guys. So this is match point for Laion. Let's see if he can take a 3-0 win over his opponent here.
For Doomhammer.
A Miracle Rogue coming out for Laion, and back to the Shaman for 18. And this is the Malagos variation, so no Cold Bloods. We'll be seeing Sinister Strikes, we'll be seeing Shivs, instead of kind of the usual Miracle build that we're used to at the moment in the metagame. So going to throw away everything. He needs to find those early cards to help deal with the pressure from the Shaman. Deadly Poison, a great pickup. 18's got a pretty decent hand too. He's got that Totem Golem to start things off. And then he can go into the Tuskar Totemic. He's going to coin this out. That's quite surprising. Coin Totem. Wow. I am very surprised with that play. That is very interesting. So he does develop the Totem Golem this turn. Shiv into Deadly Poison is going to deal with this very easily. And now he is overloaded, so next turn he can't coin out the Tuskar Totemic. So I figured the line of play would be pass into Totem Golem, into coin Tuskar Totemic, and then into Thing from Below. But unfortunately 18 had different ideas, and he's kind of lost a lot of initiative going down this line. And now we just get Tomb Pillager come down, followed by the Azure Drake, and now the Rogue is kind of in its prime, the mid-game of where it starts to develop its true threats. But Flame Tongue Totem will answer. Yeah, he will answer the Tomb Pillager. I'm just thinking what else he could play. He can just go for the thing from below at this point as well. Yeah, just clear up the Tomb Pillager. There's something you could get an additional... Well, you could actually protect your healing totem if you invested the Primal Fusion. You gain +3 health. Actually, if you went for Primal Fusion, healing totem would have been able to clear out that Tomb Pillager on its own. So now Azure Drake doesn't feel as great. But the combination of SI7 and that dagger will clear up the thing from below. But that is taking 7 damage to the face. And Alakia as well, just noticing 18's hand. An old school inclusion for Shaman. Shaman generally doesn't run Alakia as much as they used to. So now the player's been passed over to 18. Just go for the Tuskar Totemic.
Did you bring some fish?
See if you can find something useful. Spell Power. That Spell Power totem that he probably wanted a few games ago. But now goes for the Primal Fusion just to clear up the Falnos. Falnos is very dangerous because of that card right there. Fan of Knives really opens up the Shaman, clearing those totems very easily. So Forsen is picked up. That is a good card. Get that Gadget Sound rolling. Backstab won't be as effective anymore. But Dagger will clear the Totemic, and now the Spell Power Totem remains. And it's not going to be able to do much on its own. But Master of Evolution will be able to transform him into something a little bit more useful. Only a 2-drop. Could go for Harrison if he wants more card draw. I don't feel that's necessary at the moment. Might just be worth transforming that Spell Power Totem. See if we can get something useful. Whoa, hovering over that Lightning Storm. I guess there is a merit to clearing the board if you're afraid of Cold Blood. Cold Blood is something that would be very deadly in this situation.
For the life binder.
That's not bad. Good stat range there, 2-3. So let's see what he can do. This looks like it's going to be Gadget Sound time. With that Backstab, the Coin, Sap, that's 3 cards already. That's not including any preps that are drawn as well. So see if you can find what he needs. Eviscerate. That's pretty good too. So now you can Backstab the Master of Evolution. Oh, he's going to go for the Backstab on the Alex Stras's champion. Sap on the Evolution. Clear out the Totem with the 3-1 and finish off the champion with the dagger. So I think Laion's been playing very well. His plays are so clean and so well executed. So Hex is going to deal with the Gadget Sound. Flame Juggler going to go for the gamble, see if he can hit that SI7. Oh, nice. So he gets the SI7, so the Flame Juggler is safer than it once was. Oh, there's a prep. Would have wanted that a little earlier when I had that Gadget Sound rolling. Goes for the Drake. Speaking of the devil, there he is. Caster's Curse kicking in once again. So now I don't mind just daggering up at this point. You can play it just a little bit more patiently. 15 health is a little bit dangerous, I guess, against Shamans with Doomhammers and Rockbiters and all that nonsense. But right now, it doesn't seem too bad. But Harrison is going to punish the dagger up. He'll be able to draw 2 cards. Picks up that Rockbiter to go with the Alakia, so burst damage is available in the future. Can use the Abusive Sergeant on the Taunt Totem to clear up the Hex and then push 2 damage with the Flame Juggler. and even drop another totem. Or even go for the ancestral knowledge to draw additional cards.
What to do?
It doesn't really matter which way he does. If the Flame Juggler clears the text, you can just buff up the totem there. If he goes for the card draw, I'd like to do it first.
Fight, maggot!
Oh, he's going to go for the clear on the Azadrake. So again, very afraid of Cold Blood. Very cautious of it. That is not a bad pickup at all. So Gadget-san prep Shadow Strike deals with the Harrison Jones. But then again, Gadget-san prep Eviscerate deals with Harrison Jones as well. So the Shadow Strike's the more expensive. So go for the Shadow Strike first. You can always throw Eviscerate at the Flame Juggler. Fan of Knives. No more preps are going to come down. Oh! I spoke too soon. I thought he'd used 2 preps at this point. So now do you prep into Eviscerate? So the thing you're afraid of is Doomhammer Rockfighter. And with the Flame Juggler on board, that's only going to be 12. He'd need something a little bit extra to go with that to finish him off. But he's going to be a bit more patient with this Eviscerate. He does need to deal damage to 18 himself. And Eviscerate will be a key card in combination with that Malagos to find that win. Channel Trog into Lightning Storm. Clear out this Gadget-san. Only 7 cards remaining in deck, so Gadget-san has already done his job. So a lot of different ways this can go about. SI7 can now clear up the Trog in combination with Shiv. Develop a board as well. It's just seen Lightning Storm get played, so you can't be too afraid of kind of area of effect removal. Malagos is picked up as well, so next turn Forson will be incredibly deadly in combination with those Sinister Strikes and that Eviscerate. And there's no lethal yet for 18, so the defenses just need to keep coming down. So a Fan of Knives pickup for... No. Oh, wow! I was just going to say Fan of Knives would be great for in clearing this board, but Dark Iron would be pretty useful as well. In combination maybe with a Fan of Knives. I got too excited too soon there. So sapping Millhouse has a benefit. It has a huge benefit actually, because if he needs to play Millhouse to fight for board, things will become very problematic. So I'm thinking maybe Forson, sap Millhouse.
I wonder.
Because you want to get Forson down soon. Gonna go for the Dark Iron. And the dagger. Going for the board there, okay. I really wanted to see Forson come down, but like I just mentioned, if 18 has to commit a Millhouse to fight for board, there's going to be a lot of damage coming from that Malagos. Oh, I think it's Alakia clear time. Oh, that's a rough situation from your winning condition away to clear up the board. Something that Grom gets asked of sometimes. I'm sure he's not very happy with it. He's been waiting so long, that Grom. Like crushing insects. So dagger will be enough to clear up this Alakia. Doesn't get a chance to re-dagger, but the dagger has done its job in keeping the board nice and tidy. Forson is going to hit some very nice stuff. And he can even Shadow Strike now on the 30 health, and that's going to deal... Wow, how much is that going to deal? That's going to deal 10 damage. So you can do 10 damage just from Shadow Strike. Flame Juggler, Argent, Squire into Thing from Below. Let's see if he commits to Millhouse. Millhouse would just be deadly. Nope, no Millhouse. Second Eviscerate. So we have Malagos, prep into Shadow Strike for 10. And then you deal 16 with the Sinister Strikes. Does he even need to do this? Like, does he even need a Shadow Strike? No, he doesn't even need it. Eviscerate, prep, Eviscerate. Oh, wow. Ridiculous amounts of damage coming for Laion. And he is going to take this series 3-0. And what an impressive series from him. He's played so well, and all his plays just felt so clinical and so tidy. I like that from a player. So a 3-0 sweep there for Laion, and he will be going into the semi-finals, I believe. I'll just quickly check to see where we are on the bracket.